they do evil, no one make person talk.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Thank you for joining me. You can share this broadcast as you are before you settle down, as you are joining in, right? Share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun is here.
Godfather is in Mayegun diary.
Thank you. Yeah. Tell them. Yeah. Thank you. You can also take a moment to read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast as well, what we are going to be talking about as we take them one after the other. So the top of the pile today is going to be another awaiting defeat for Malamu and Bokwari on the same guy, Nnamdi Kanu. I have a lot to share with you on that. And also tonight, we are going to talk politics a bit as well. I mean, a lot is happening in that part as well. So share the broadcast. Invite your friends, like I said.
My name is Nnamdi Kanu, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government, to the High Commissioner, that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done. And the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the international community for peace. But one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody who has the interest of the country at heart acts now and immediately to stop this nonsense from continuing.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me once again tonight. A week ago, the appeal court in Nigeria gave a judgment, that is, on the illegality of abduction of Nnamdi Kanu. The man that they have managed to spend, they have spent billions to propagate as the devil, that so many of you are so scared to see free. Even when many of you say you are fighting for freedom from the stand of the same oppressors who all they needed to carry out their injustices against everyone is just one excuse or one reason or another that they can just say, well, that's a crime, and that's it. You go down for it. Injustice. Nnamdi Kanu won them in court. They had him for, in the last 7 years, Bokwari's government had Nnamdi Kanu for almost 4 of those years. And for those periods they have him, they have been unable to pin him or pin a crime on him. Or how do you explain this? Somebody that you said wanted to cause war in Nigeria, and you have evidence to jail him. Then you held him for 2 years with none of this evidence presented, none. He was released on bail. Then you set hired killers, your uniformed men, to kill him. How he managed to leave the place? Well, it's still a mystery, isn't it? Then you finally put together another, another covert operation to kidnap him wherever you see him. Now you've had him for over a year. Still, there is no evidence that could at least convince your own judges to jail him for whatever crime you said is committed or is about to commit. But because there is none, I was on Twitter just a few days ago, and there is this foundation. It's like a legal, sort of a legal foundation that deals with people who have no legal representations in different prisons in Nigeria. So they will listen to your story. What brought you here? What did you do? How long have you been here? And what effort have you made to get, sort of a court appearance and all that? So they found a guy. And this young man was arrested by the Nigerian soldiers. And guess what they arrested him for? They arrested him for not stopping somebody that was running away. When police are chasing someone, right? And then by an unfortunateness, so to say, they run past you. In Nigeria, that was what cost that guy almost 10 years of his life in Kirikiri prison in Lagos. The soldiers were chasing someone. The guy was coming back from work. He just alighted from the downfall and was walking home, right? And he just saw somebody who ran past. Few minutes later, 3 armed men were running towards him and after the person. So he just, moved away from them and continued going home. So when they couldn't catch the person that they were chasing, they came back for him. They said, why didn't you stop him? Why did you stop that person running away? And somebody who had no idea of what they are talking about, he ended up in the police net. From there, he ended up being roped as an armed robbery suspect. And he's been in Kirikiri for 7 years. Now, I decided to tell you that story because that's exactly what that injustice you saw there is exact and worse off what they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu. They said he insulted their president. Wow. and that is a terrorism act. Then bring the evidence of the insult. Bring the evidence of him connecting and conducting act of terrorism. No evidence. So they are in their own courts. The court said, number one, whatever you even have against this person, you need to explain how you got him down to Nigeria. How did you get him back here? The process and everything. We want to see that. Without that, we can't try him. Now, you know what is going to happen? Well, presently, Malamu has now come out to confess. Bokwari did not come to stop Biafra. Bokwari did not come to keep Nigeria one. Do you understand the two? They are two different sentences, right? Buhari did not come to keep Nigeria together. At the same time, Buhari didn't come to stop Biafra. Buhari came for a revenge that is had in his heart since his youth, something that he would want to see happen to the people of Igbo land in his lifetime. But guess what? He came too late. Buhari came too late, and as you can see, whatever was the old playbook or arrangement that Buhari was playing with the Biafrans and with the Igbo people, trying to make Nnamdi Kanu the pipe of his long-held dream of a second genocide in Nigeria, has failed. All the permutations, all of the calculations has failed. I mean, even those of you who actually love Nigeria so much that you don't like Nnamdi Kanu for asking Nigeria to break up, fine. Let's say in fairness now, right? You actually wanted Nigeria, right, to punish him, okay? And to punish him, you have to do that legally, Abi. And to punish him legally, you have to have evidence enough to achieve that punishment. But Buhari's goal is not to punish Nnamdi Kanu. Buhari's goal is to use Nnamdi Kanu, his rage, his hatred, his revenge against the Igbo people. He saw Nnamdi Kanu as an opportunity to make that happen. Now, all that plot has now dipped them in a deeper hole. That rather than them to stop digging now, they seems to be adamant. So those of you who were waiting for a country that wanted to keep peace in eastern Nigeria, and they want, you know what I mean? By now, if that was the intention of Bokwari, they would have presented enough evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, and everyone they said have been committing crime. If they indeed are connected to Nnamdi Kanu, I mean, you should be asking yourself this now, okay? That if those who are committing crimes in eastern Nigeria, if they are connected to Nnamdi Kanu, that is a very good opportunity that Nigeria needed, Abi, and bring all of them together and link them together. But they couldn't link them together. I mean, if they could, they won't be in appeal court, asking appeal court to please, don't let Nnamdi Kanu go, please. Yeah, we know that we've messed up. Okay, we messed up the whole case. We've messed up the whole thing. Fine. Whatever we plan is not working according to the plan anymore. Fine. But see, we are not so sure what he is capable of doing. That's why Malamu's lawyer, that was what he was telling the appeal court. Appeal court said, you need to explain how you got him to Nigeria so that we can have a foundation. Do you get? No be only that too. Umahia court, high court in Umahia, appeal court in Umahia have given judgment one after the other. You won't even believe this, so your media is not reporting that. Just like that of Oloye Sunday Igboho, that Nigeria got awarded the penalty of 20 billion. Do you know that Nigeria is owing Nnamdi Kanu 1 billion naira right now? Judgment, that his arrest, his detention contradict his fundamental human rights as defined by our charter, Africa, Nigeria, like your own law, your own court. This is not something anybody wishes anymore. This is what your court said. Your court said that in High Court in Umaya said that they appealed it. Appeal court said he didn't jump bail. You wanted to kill him. His own defense have proved that Nigeria wanted to kill him. And the best option for him was to run for his life. Because if he's dead, there will be no case anymore. Will there be any case? And the court listened to them. This is on record. So the court said he didn't jump bail, which means he's committed no crime. So far now, it is Nigeria committing crime. Now, do you know the latest crime they are committing? They said, yeah, we agree that we don't have any evidence. But we can't let him be free and do whatever he likes. Is somebody that once he's out there, the whole thing is going to, we don't know what will happen. So for the sake of Nigeria national security, that's what they said, oh, please, we want you to stay execution of that judgment. Are you listening to me? Nigeria, Malamu, whatever your media is telling you right now, I don't know. But Malamu, Nigerian government under Buhari, they are begging appeal courts right now to please, we know your judgment is, you know what I mean? But can you just please give an order that this order you gave, this judgment, should hold on for a while so that we can work something out, because we don't know what Nnamdi Kanu will do. We are scared. That's the summary. We are scared of him being free out there. But do you know that it's not only Malamu that is scared of Nnamdi Kanu being free? There are many people who have joined us to scream, free Nnamdi Kanu, free Nnamdi Kanu, justice for Nnamdi Kanu, justice for the people, this or that. Many of them are also scared now. You know why? Because in the last 1 year, a lot has happened. Some of them have found themselves in different camps today. And if they are not shouting, I want local, they will be telling you that they are unifier, articuluta. Or they will be telling you that they are now obedient, because they now believe that maybe something will happen that will stop, the anger. And you know what I mean? So Nnamdi Kanu being released right now. You remember the conspiracy that first came out when the announcement came that Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted of all charges. That was the judgment. Did you see the reaction of some people? The conspiracy theorists said, we know that it's APC. They want to stop Obi from winning. They want to stop Atiku from winning. That is why APC wanted to release Nnamdi Kanu. And they are comfortable with the illegality of still keeping him, even though they are telling you that they want to fight for justice for you. They want to bring you justice. They want to bring, all that stuff. They are all in on it. One man that you really, really pray that they convict, even if you have not publicly confessed it before, is at the announcement of his acquittal, is discharged, sent a serious shock wave down everywhere. Suddenly, I told you that this Nnamdi Kanu is working for APC. Now they want to release him, Abi. Now they want to do this. I'm like, wow. Mayegun, let us be honest, Jare. Now that APC know that they are going to lose, that's why they want to release Nnamdi Kanu so that Igbos will not vote. This one, haba. Now Malamu is telling court that releasing Nnamdi Kanu go cause kata for everybody, and it is not in favor of APC. So maybe you need to go and re-edit your conspiracy theories now, okay? Because as it be so, even APC, they are scared to see him walk free. No joke, because they thought they could use Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, to reenact their 1967 genocide, which has been the long-time held dream of Bokwari, and he never hide it. He never hide it. He's always said it, but he probably never just said it clearly, like I can't wait to deal with them. But when he had the opportunity, he said they are just dots in a cycle that can be wiped off. What do you mean? Wipe off 50 million people from your map? Is that not genocide of monumental? I mean, I don't know how to describe that. And he said that. He said he's going to teach them the lessons that their parents didn't teach them. What was that lesson? That we killed your parents. We killed those who existed before your parents. Remember? And if those who survived didn't tell you, we will do it again. That's his dream. He said, I will speak to them in the languages they understand. Genocide. Ladies and gentlemen, this was what triggered Bokwari's reactions on social media, on Twitter. That they deleted Bokwari's tweet threatening Igbo people. Although those who are defending him as well, some of them are Igbos too. They said but they didn't know. What they didn't know is that the plan was that they can use Nnamdi Kanu's rhetorics, right, and use that as a reason for why they are killing the Igbos again. Now they have killed more than 5,000 Igbos by the Nigerian authorities Nigerian authority in the last 7 years alone, right? This is a fact, and I'm trying to be generous here. The investigation that have already been documented have already indicted Nigerian military, indicted some state governors in eastern Nigeria, some politicians, Bokwari, Malamu, and the rest of them. So whatever the framework, whatever the plan was, when they decided to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from his own hotel in Lagos in December 2015, that they thought would be the window to reenact the 1967 genocide in eastern Nigeria, whatever that is, ladies and gentlemen, you can say it now loud and clear. That plan has failed. They've shot themselves on the foot again and again and again. And at this point, if they have anything to do as a face-saving stuff, right, they will let Nnamdi Kanu go. But they won't, because they are begging appeal court. And today, the appeal court is saying that they are holding and reserving their judgment on that application. So if they manage, and also there is a report that the three justices, the three judges that gave the unanimous decision on the discharge and acquittal of Nnamdi Kanu of any charges, guess what? That judgment, that appeal court judgment, you can't appeal it. You can't appeal court. Do you get that now? But Nigerian government don't obey any court order, okay? Now, that judgment, what that court judgment said is that you cannot try Nnamdi Kanu in any court in Nigeria. Do you understand? They can't try Nnamdi Kanu in any court in Nigeria. That was what that judgment is. And that is why Malamu is begging appeal court to please don't execute that judgment, please. Don't let us execute it. Just say something that we should hold on for now. Now, because they know that the appeal court is likely not going to do that, they have already transferred all the judges from that same appeal court. If not, that application for stay of execution would have been presented to the same justices that said Nnamdi Kanu must be freed. So now, what the report we have received is that those three justices, right, they have been transferred from appeal court. So this new application that they should please hold on, is going to be presented before different justices, different judges. So if those ones now read the report of their own colleagues, it is 82 pages. Listen, the judgment of appeal court that said that Nigeria must release Nnamdi Kanu is not just the summary you are hearing. It is 82 pages. 82 pages is the judgment. Now you have to, those new justices they are putting together, they would have to read the conclusion of their colleagues. And if they fail to stay execution, the thing don't become serious, Now him be say they would have to take the whole thing to the Supreme Court. And guess what? In Supreme Court too, even though the place is filled with tanko technicality, at the rest, nevertheless, they will still have to read what are now the, So that means for the first time, Boko Haram's hatred for the Igbo people, Boko Haram's government disdain for the Biafrans, the president of Nigeria that is so happy to keep you divided, broken, his dream again is shattered and it has failed. Do you understand? I don't know what they are telling you in your media. I don't know what you are reading out there, but there is one thing you should know. Even if you want them to jail him or kill him, it has become even bigger than they thought it would be. Nnamdi Kanu has become that fish bone that is stuck to your throat. You have to be very, very, very careful because you can't swallow it and you can't vomit it without vomiting everything inside you. Now, that is significant in this conversation because I have spoken about their desperation for so long. What Nnamdi Kanu is preaching and doing in a reasonable, sensible society, not led by bigots, people with hateful minds in position of authority, vengeful people in position of leadership, Nnamdi Kanu poses no threats to anybody in Nigeria. No matter the rhetoric, no matter what he is saying, he poses no single threat to anyone or any part of Nigeria. And you can see how so many criminals have now risen up using the foolishness of Boko Haram, the mindedlessness of Boko Haram, the heartlessness of Boko Haram and his government, holding an innocent man, how criminals are now leveraging on that, unleashing terror in eastern Nigeria. But because Boko Haram is not after peace, that's another part of it too. We are trying to prevent war. That is why we arrested Nnamdi Kanu. But since Nnamdi Kanu has been speaking and addressing Biafrans all this while, there has never been any unrest in eastern Nigeria. There has never been any form of violence in eastern Nigeria. There has never been any level of a criminality that you are witnessing today in eastern Nigeria. But the moment they kidnapped him, they unleashed the terror. Still, they couldn't link them to him. So releasing him is actually the genesis, again, of the peace that Boko Haram has taken away from eastern Nigeria. The peace that the likes of Opus Odijo or Opus Odingba or Devil Umayi and the rest of their agents, Okorocha and the rest of them in eastern Nigeria, releasing Nnamdi Kanu will put an end to all those criminalities. And that is not something that Boko Haram actually wants, just like it doesn't want peace in any part of Nigeria. A signal is sent just a few months when he took over that he is not here for peace. He is here. He was here for revenge, and those who will take over from him as well.
Mr. President, welcome. And I've been a student of Nigeria for many years, and first of all, I want to tell you that I have never seen such a hopeful attitude toward Nigeria and the United States as since your election. So I think we all here want you to succeed. My question relates to another area of Nigeria that hasn't gotten much attention during this trip, and that is the Niger Delta. It's a challenge that you're going to face. I wonder if you would tell us how you intend to approach it with particular reference to the amnesty, bunkering, and inclusive development. Thank you.
Inclusive government. Inclusive government. In how you include, women, youth.
I see. Yes. I hope you have a copy of the election results. naturally constituencies, for example, that gave me 97%, cannot, in all honesty, be treated on some issues with constituencies that gave me 5%. I think these are political reality. While certainly there will be justice for everybody, everybody will get his constitutional right. But where the party in constituencies that by their either sheer hard work, they made sure that they got their people to vote and to ensure their vote count. They must feel that the government has appreciated the effort they put in putting the government in place. I think that's really fair.
That was his first signal. Listen to me. Yes, I'm going to be president of Nigeria, but listen, you're not going to expect me to treat everyone fairly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, same. There are those who gave me 97% of their votes and those who gave me just a 5% of, that stuff, right? So that was the first signal. So he came with a revenge. He came to, whatever they have told you, it is at this point you have to admit. Mo admit. Omomo agree, Jari. Any plan, all the plan, every plan we be say we thought Buhari have for making sure that this Biafra thing is completely, all of the plan have failed. We will not lie to ourselves. So it simply means that if Bokwari, or if you think Bokwari helped in holding Biafrans from happening, what Bokwari has done is that it has made their base even stronger. Like they will say, when challenges comes, you don't see them as challenges. It's just challenges. You see them as opportunities as well. So in this case, if Bokwari did not kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from his hotel room in Lagos in December 2015, Nnamdi Kanu probably wouldn't have been able to fulfill his own vision and dream for the race of for the Biafran race. And no matter how you feel about it, so it is always good now to tell them that that same Biafra that is so dreadful to so many of you one Nigerianists, your Supreme Court would have to make a pronouncement on that. Now, what are you going to then do when your Supreme Court says he has right to advocate for the Biafran emancipation and the rest? And in fact, it is not a crime to advocate for that. Or if your Supreme Court says, oh, yeah, it's true, there's no legal base to try him. So you either have to take him back to Kenya or you just let him go. That's it. What do you think will be their next move? Kill him. We'll wait to see that. So they can still save face now. Just let him go. Let him go. If you want peace, you open up a negotiation and you should be willing and ready to accept responsibility for the crimes you have actually committed against them. Because injustice to one, they say, is injustice to all. Wherever you are witnessing that Nnamdi Kanu is going through right now, is not the reason why your Nigeria is tearing apart, collapsing. Nnamdi Kanu might be one of the reasons why some of you even understand that something is wrong with Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu might be the reasons that some of you actually feel like you need to do something or else you are done for. And in this case, it's not done anything wrong to any of you. So his freedom is not an impediment or a sort of an hindrance to your own freedom if you understand what freedom is. But if you really want to make it look like the way you have chosen your oppressors as well, which is that you choose those who deserve justice and those who don't deserve them in your book, then you are not different from the criminals that so many of you are trying to replace or defend as well. But there's something that will always come over every other thing, is that injustice may last a lifetime, which is so sad, by the way. But the air and the breeze of freedom can never, ever be, what do you call it? Can never be equalized or equated with or compared with the years of being enchained. So if you enjoy what it feels like for the first time, for real, it is. So whatever it is now that you are currently cooking, we demand. In fact, your court said it should be released, and that is why somebody who probably believes that you love justice, you should remind them it should be released too, and they should save their faces. Before we go into politics, which is next. Politics.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi go onye do I walk. O Mary wone nizu mbiroya abakare. Mamanda Ora, Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi.
Thank you. Let's go to Kano, because this is where Kolu Tifnumbu has been in the last 48 hours. And there's been a lot coming from that part. A lot, by far, where one of the reports, as much as Tifnumbu has been so generous, by the way, he just gave them 100 million naira to help the victims of flooding. And he said, I brought the money here with me. I've given it to, Gandola is the host. Now, Gandola is the governor of Kano. And Gandola is also the CEO, Babariga Mobile Banking. Now, when Kolu got to Kano, courtesy, the invitation of Gandola, he dropped a lot of money, not just for the flood victims. According to somebody who called himself Anas or Nas, who happened to be the special advisor to Gandola, the Babariga Mobile Banking CEO of Kano, this guy said when Tifnumbu came, he gave us a lot of money. And we indeed did our best to mobilize people to come on the street and share our presidential candidate up. Come on, guys, be kind, be nice. 2,000 naira per person. But surprisingly, people didn't show up. So at that point, I don't know what prompted him anyway. So he did a very long video interview trying to raise an alarm that they need to do something. In fact, there's a lot they need to do in Kano. Forget about the media paparazzi, all the everybody, no, forget about that. that they paid people to come and welcome Kalu. They collected the money. They didn't show up. Meanwhile, there's a woman who said she showed up. She mobilized other women. They promised them they would give them money and that, but they didn't give them anything. All this came from Kano, the other good side. Kalu was there and he's been generous to them. So for those who are listening to me, please, I've told you about what propaganda can look like if some of you have forgotten them. Okay. The only difference these days is that in 2015, not so much people understood what propaganda was like back then. So these days, a lot of people who actually did the propaganda for APC, Egbekegbe, and Bokuwari in 2015, many of them have actually okay, today, they are no longer in that camp. So, and a lot of people have also learned what the propaganda can be like, especially when they see that they are cooking. They're not they cook. They cook something. So many of you who found yourself in obedient movements, you are very, very used to APC, Egbekegbe's propaganda, and how they cook them up. So, in this case, Tifnumbu and gang, they believe that they might lose some places, they might win some places, but I mean, starting with 1 billion naira per state, that's 36 billion naira. Wherever they spend that, wherever that money reach, they will now understand, they will now see if indeed all of una really mean business or you don't. So starting from Kano, let's first show the generosity of Kalu. He's been kind. The flood victims in Kano received 100 million naira, but they would have to ask their governor, Gandola, the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kano, and Kalu, the central bank governor of Lagos, just yesterday.
It's really a new brotherhood. And I've seen the flood devastation which you have gone through. We have to raise each other's arm, help each other survive, and be a good Samaritan to one another. For the victim of the flood that devastated Kano, I am giving you 100 million to solve that problem. Part of the solution. And the money is with him. I brought it and I deposited with him. So you definitely will contact some of you and do justice to those victims. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
And they say I forget to mention Badaru of Jigawa during the protocol. Just forget it now. Forgive me. Is my son now? Forgive me for that. Thank you very much. Go.
So all of you with the Kano IDP camps, because of the flood and all that, you know where to go and make your withdrawal. You get 100 million naira deposited in a box at the Babariga mobile banking or mobile bank of Kano, and you know the CEO. Just go there and say, from the central bank governor of Lagos, Ikoyi Joe Biden, who said, all you have to do, people will complain about me. People say a lot about me. They said I'm a sick man. Listen, maybe me just give you 100 million now. I'm not sick. Sick man cannot stand me, but don't worry, just do everything and elect me. Once you elect me, they will stop. They will stop talking. I mean, Kalu was there after giving them some money, and he reminded them, "You owe me."
People, I've been standing before you. I'm not running for 100 yards. or 500 years old, I'm running for presidency. I'm not competing for WWE wrestling. Even if I go out there and they say, sick, I am standing before you. Do I look like a sick man? Nigeria. You vote me out of their reach. Vote for me 100%. They will stop complaining. It's mostly because I'm smarter than they are. The commercial exploit of a whole lot of you is greater than the sum total of the other party's equation. Thank you very much for listening. I've enjoyed.
I mean, somebody said, listen, somebody said, Mayegun, do you know that there is a part of him that actually wanted to see Kolu to become your president? That, Baba, there will be no there will be no better content creator. That even if you are like suffering like under Bokwari, you go get something, we go just make you go just make you laugh, smile, and do all of that for a moment, and just be like, and shake your head for Nigeria, you know, that kind of thing. You know, before they started hiding Bokwari away from you, you know, it was a comical relief. When he speak like this, we are ready. Everyone don't cut him, Say, but you know, some said that if Kolu he said, vote for me out of their reach, they will stop complaining. You know what I mean? I mean, got to a point that people are like, you know what? I don't like watching Bokwari. It's a waste of time. Somebody should interpret what, I should summarize what he said. Something like this that became a hit. That's right.
Livestock.
Huh?
Livestock.
National livestock.
I would talk about it.
He doesn't know. He doesn't. I think he doesn't know.
These are all directed at Mr. President. So corruption, yes, let me.
No.
He can talk for
He
himself.
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I want Nigerians to give you another opportunity to do another 4 years. Why?
Well,
He doesn't know.
I think
Here you get. Like it got to a stage they have to start hiding Bokwari from all of us. They say any small thing, Any small thing. Una go don't make different memes. Any small thing, so they give you pictures, like a model. Bye. You know, pictures of Bokwari, going abroad, waving and say bye you. I see you when I see you again. Oh, so because if he says anything, you just have to be like, and it's not written. He's gonna speak his mind, and when the dementia sets in, is going to. It's just, you know. So some say that they would like Tifnumbu to be your president so that they can have something to laugh about. I was like, you are not living in Nigeria if you are wishing that on them. But I mean, who am I to even judge anyway? There are people who are already hired. Clap. They are always going to be there. Yeah. You get that? They will always be there like, well done, sir. So somebody no get part of the money, and she has this to say. In fact, I don't understand Hausa so much, okay? So what you're going to do for me, everyone who speaks Hausa, you can help me do some interpretation. But I'll tell you, this person is a special advisor, senior special advisor to Gandola of Kano. And he said their party But I say their party don't lose more. Sadly, they mobilize people to come and welcome Tifnumbu. They no show as they expected. It's supposed to be something with all that money. Listen, no me, he said it.
Mai girma SSA Anas Abdala. Wani sako kake da shi ne da kake da manufar shaidawa al'umma a daidai wannan lokaci kuma a wannan rana da dan takarar jam'iyyar wato dan takarar shugaban kasa na jam'iyyar APC ya shigo jihar Kano.
Billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Na farko kamar da muka faɗa a hirar mu ta baya cewar jam'iyyar APC ba ta da goyon bayan al'umma. To ga shi Allah cikin ikonsa cikin hikimarsa ga shi ya tabbatar da abin da muka faɗa. Domin yau ga asuwa jibola a mutumin ya zo Kano a zahirin magana ta lillahi wa rasuli al'umma ba su fito sun masa da ya kamata a yi ma'ana ba su karɓe shi ba. Me janyo al'umma su kai wannan? Mu da muke cikin gwamnati muke cikin sassan ɗin jam'iyyar APC gani muke yi a yanzu kowa ba shi da wayo, mu ne masu wayo, mu ne za mu yi amfani da ƙarfin gwamnati, za mu yi amfani da kuɗi. To yau gashi an ba wa al'ummar jihar Kano kuɗin sanatinin bin sun karɓi kuɗin sun je sun cinye, kowa ya je ya yi zaman sa. Misali bari ba ku wani lissafi ɗan kaɗan mai sauraro idan sauraro wannan maganar da zan faɗa. Minista na ayyuka tsohon gwamnan Lagos Tunde Fashola ya fitar da alkalima ya yi hira ya faɗa cewar a zuwan shugaba Buhari an yi titi kilomita 8,000 da wani abu a kan faɗin Najeriya a shekara 7.5 da muka yi muna gwamnati. Amma a shekara 8 a shekara 7 nan kilomita 5,000 da wani abu duka jihohin Yarabawa su tafi. 5,000 da wani abu 3,000 shine aka watsa wa ragowar sassan Najeriya. Nan arewacin Najeriya a kashi 3 kashi 4 duk ba a gama ba. Fasholan nan fa shi ya hana a yi mana minista a yi mana wuta ta mangila. Shi ya hana dukkanin wani abu da ka sani namu na wuta ita shi a arewacin Najeriya. Bayan fa Obasanjo illar da imana a arewa ta kashe mana wuta. Shi ne yau Fashola izo dora, kuma Fasholan nan yaron waye, yaron Tinubu, tsohon gwamnan Lagos. Amma yau al'ummar mu ne suke zuwa suke tallan Tinubu. Shi fa Fasholan nan fa duk abin da zai a duniya sai ya tuntuɓi Tinubu. Amma wai yau izo yau ike faɗa ko kunya baya ji cewa kilomita 5,000 da wani abu duka an kai shi yankin Yarabawa. Ɗan uwanmu yana mulki nunan babu komai banda rayuka da ake kashe mana da asarar dukiyoyi da ake mana. Wani abu wanda zai daɗa tayan ma da hankali a cikin wannan tsarin, shugaba Buhari yana ministan man fetur yau, shi ne babban ministan man fetur shekara 7 da rabi. NNPC hukumar ta ce mai ta ƙasa ta fitar da alkalima cewa kati na waya a shekara ɗaya, mai saurari ka saurari, katin waya sun sai kati na waya na naira miliyan 20,000 a shekara ɗaya, naira miliyan 20,000. Buhari ina nan da ransa kuma yana shugabanta wannan ma'aikata. Iya a tare baki daga bakin gas su zo ofis a ci biskit a sha lemu a sha ruwa faro sun kashe a shekara ɗaya nan sun kashe naira miliyan 13,000. Da haka in ka hada da wannan biliyan 20 ka hada da biliyan 13 shi ya kama naira biliyan 33 a iya biskit kawai da karanta jarida da katin waya. Buhari kuma shine shugaban wannan ma'aikata. Don haka wannan talaka ne zai fito ce zai yi wannan harka.
I will wait for Ahmed to come and do interpretation for us. But one thing where I hear we say, one woman who represented other women to go and they welcome Tifnumbu to Kano, they no pay her, and she made a video.
Miti da aka kira mu na Tinubu, aka kira miti na Tinubu ne a nan gurin. Mun zo miti na nan gurin. Daga suna mun kare miti za ba mu kudin mota, ba kudin mota ba kuma mun ma da safi muna nan. Daga nesa muka zo. Daga nesa muka zo. Ga yunwa babu da kuma ko ruwan sha ba babu ba.
Ana Rahab Aliyu. To wani yaro ne ya ce mana mu zo da mata. ya ce tun da nuna da kungiya na mata sai da aka ce zo da mata da yawa a wurin. To da aka kare mitin din, muka kare mitin da niyyar za gan mata kuɗin motarsu na gida ba su ba. Abin da yasa na ji haushi shine sai na magana akan yadda na yi magana na ce akan mata ina tsare musu ne kawai, ina neman musu hakkinsu ne. Dan mun saba kamar mun je mitin namu na APC yadda muka kafin ma mu tafi ma za a ba mu kuɗin motar ma a hannunmu kafin ma mu tafi. Saboda ana kare kan mu je mu dawo. Da fa wannan mitin da muka je fa da fa shi baba Tinubu ma bai san akan mitin din ba. Wani ne ya gyace mu, suna su forming structure ne da zamu bude team da zamu fara ma baba Tinubu aiki shine fa. Amma wannan bidiyon ya dade, amma yanzu an bi da ni gari ana ta faɗa abubuwan da ban ce ba, abin da ban san hawa ban san sauka ba, haka ka bi da ni gari kawai ana ta shela ni a gari.